square also we can understand how this tongue rolling character is inherited to the children. Unit square. Unit square. Alright? Father who is heterozygous dominant, that is capital R and small r, and here mother is also a tongue roller who is heterozygous dominant. Alright? So now we can make a square out here. So like that. So this one R comes here, this another R comes here, and from here this R from mother, one dominant comes this side and the recessive comes this side. When you crisscross here, this R into R, double R, that is homozygous dominant we are finding. Here heterozygous dominant, here again heterozygous dominant, and this R small r homozygous recessives. So in the previous case we had found 3 children, but with the help of this Punnett square we are finding 4 children. But in the 4 children what we can find is that first one is having the homozygous dominant who can roll the tongue, and second and third also can roll the tongue, but the genetic composition is different. So genetic composition out here is heterozygous dominant, and the last one is recessive. The last one is the one who cannot roll the tongue, and the genetic composition in his or her case is homozygous recessive. So with the help of this also we can understand the inheritance of characters from parents to the offspring. Only the genetic properties being transferred from parents to the offspring. Of tongue rolling property to the children. As you all know what inheritance is. So it's a transfer of genetic properties from parents to offspring. So here for that example, to make you understand in that regard, we have taken an example of tongue rolling. So for this, there are two the methods have been given out here. So first we have got family chart there, which is also called pedigree chart. Pedigree chart, pedigree or family chart, family chart. So according to this chart, what we can understand is that suppose mother is tongue roller who can roll the tongue, and other side father is also a tongue roller who can roll the tongue. If both the parents are tongue roller, they can roll the tongue, are having 4 children. Out of 4 children, first side will be roller, second also will be roller, third also will be roller, and fourth maybe non-roller. Alright? Mother and father, if they are tongue rollers, their probable 4 children may be having this kind of genetic setup. First one may be able to roll the tongue, second also roll the tongue, third also roll the tongue, fourth may not be able to roll the tongue. Why it is? Question might arise. Being both the parents rollers, how come the 4th child is coming the non-roller. The question might arise in your minds. To encounter the thought or the question in your mind, what you can understand out here is that mother and father must be heterozygous dominant. We have talked about this homozygous dominant, heterozygous dominant, homozygous recessive, that all we have talked about. So to understand this one, now what you can think is that mother and father both must be heterozygous dominant, capital R and small r, capital R and small r. So that they can produce all three children, the rulers, only the one is non-ruler. So that the non-ruler is found. Why? Because both the parents have got recessive, that small r, that is recessive allele is there. So these recessive alleles when combined make a homozygous recessive, which is there with the fourth child. So that fourth child cannot roll the tongue. The same can be represented by another method also, by breaking down the genes also, by breaking down their, breaking down the germinal cell also. We can do it just to represent that. To represent the pedigree or family chart in other way, in a simpler way, so that you understand, I can just show this, the other simpler way like this. Mother with roller and father with also a palm roller. Alright? So we have already discussed that we have found the fourth child, the one who cannot hold the tongue. Alright? So from that what I have understood is that both mother and father are heterozygous dominant. So we can write them like this. Heterozygous dominant. They can hold the tongue, but their genetic composition is different. Both of them have got the heterozygous dominant, one capital R, the other one is small r, which means they are heterozygous dominant. But their phenotype is the same, that is, they are able to roll the tongue. Okay, so if we break this gene, it becomes like this. So, when they cross, so they are going to produce the 4 children. So, 4 children will be having these combinations. Now, I think okay, so in this method, what we can understand is that both mother and father are heterozygous dominant, having this capital R and small r, capital R and small r. So when they are separated, when they are, when they are making the gametes at the time, the genes are separated like that, as you see out here. Then when these two sets, fathers and mothers, genes are or alleles are combined, so that way these 4 children will be found. And in the first case we are finding out here the homozygous dominant, homozygous dominant, which means he or she can roll the tongue. And in his or her case, the genotype is that homozygous dominant, both the alleles are dominant. And in the second and third case, we find heterozygous dominant. That means their genotypic composition is this, heterozygous dominant. Both the genes in their case are one capital and one small letter, that is heterozygous dominant. And the fourth one, we find the one having both the recessive alleles, so that he or she cannot roll the tongue, but these 3 can roll the tongue. Though they can roll the tongue, but their genetic composition is different. Okay, so in the first case we have found homozygous dominant. In the second and third case we have found heterozygous dominant. Though they can roll the tongue, but the fourth one cannot roll the tongue. Why? Because both the alleles are recessive. So here she cannot roll the tongue. So to make you better understand this family chart, so this is also a way through which we can understand more about it, about the inheritance of tongue roller property from parents to offspring. So dear children, today in this session we just learned about genes, and you know genes are the hereditary units that carry the properties from parents to the offsprings. Then we learned about alleles. Alleles to be the alternative forms of a gene for a particular character to express two contrasting expressions. Alright? Then we learned about the different technical terms like homozygous, heterozygous, recessive, all those. Homozygous, dominant, that you know both the alleles are the same, which are represented by capital letter, are the homozygous dominant. Then heterozygous dominant, capital R and small r, with regard to the tongue rolling character that we learned, capital R and small r, heterozygous dominant. Then small r and small r, homozygous recessive, that all we discussed. Then inheritance of tongue rolling character also we discussed. So there, how it is inherited from parents to the offsprings, we try to understand with the help of two methods, that is pedigree family chart, and other one is Punnett square. I think you all have understood all about it, and the rest of the portions of the chapter will continue in the next session. Thank you so much.